Hello, my lovely YouTubers! So in this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to mount an orchid on a Kool-log. Now, I promised you guys I would make this video because one of you lucky subscribers is going to be winning a Kool-log at the end of this month, so it helps to know how to mount an orchid. So my guinea pig today is going to be Coryanthes bruchmülleri, I believe is how you pronounce it. And it has two new growths coming out. You can see one right there and then one on the back side here. And it's shriveled looking because I purchased it shriveled looking, but also I have been really bad about keeping this guy moist. And Coryanthes are one of those tropical kind of orchids that love to be kept moist. Same thing with your Stanhopias and your Paphinias. They really like to be evenly moist and they like to grow warm. Now, Coryanthes bruchmülleri is interesting in the sense that it grows cool to warm. So I was thinking about mounting it on this Kool-log here and seeing how well it does. I need to repot this orchid anyways because it is in this container that does not allow for a spike to come through. So first thing we're going to do is take the orchid out of its pot. Hopefully I can do that while the orchid is dry. Just going to squeeze the pot a bit, and there we go. So we can see the roots of the orchid right here, nice and alive, thank goodness. But you can see how dry the sphagnum moss is. Definitely needs to be moist. So the Kool-log is great because the Kool-log is going to provide even moisture for the bruchmülleri. And remember, we put the water in the top of the Kool-log, that way it can slowly diffuse through the pores of the Kool-log. Okay, so things you're going to need to mount your orchid onto a Kool-log. You will need a pair of scissors and some fishing line. This is a thin gauge fishing line. This is what I use to mount my orchids. It doesn't have a gauge number on it, but this is just, it says monofilament line. And the scissors are to cut the fishing line, unless you're fancy and have that built-in fishing line cut thing. But this was super, super cheap. You're going to need a Kool-log. You're also going to need some sphagnum moss. This is just the better gross sphagnum moss that you can purchase at any of your large chain box stores, department stores like Lowe's or Home Depot. So this is the kind of stuff that I use to mount my orchids. And you're going to need some sort of container to soak your sphagnum moss in. So this sphagnum moss has been soaking. And if your orchid is already in sphagnum moss, you're going to need to soak that as well, or if it's already wet, then it's easy to pull off. But I like to soak my orchids prior to repotting them. That way they have a chance to absorb some water, and it just gives them a chance to adapt more easily, I think. And it's really easy to pull off the old existing media. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is remove all of the old media. Okay, so after you have removed all of the media and you've cut away any dead roots, now you are ready to mount the orchid onto the Kool-log. So you're going to take your Kool-log and you're going to grab a little bit of your sphagnum moss that you've been soaking. And you're going to place it onto the Kool-log, just a small pad. So you're going to create a small pad just big enough to place the orchid on the mount. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place the orchid on the mount like so and center it. And I'm going to just set this down here, but hopefully you guys can still see. And I'm going to place some more sphagnum moss around the base of the plant. Going to make a simple loop, like you're tying a shoe almost. Okay, so I have the circle, and then at the top I have the loose thread, and you can see that I will be able to cinch down on the actual plant. So I have cinched down at the base of the plant right here, and now I'm just going to do a once over wrap like that to secure it more firmly, and I still have some roots over here that are exposed, so I'm going to go ahead and cover those with sphagnum moss and secure that with some more fishing line. Alrighty guys, so I just cinched it in the back of the Kool-log, and as you can see I did do a crossover on the pseudobulbs one time just to help secure it in place, and here is our finished product. So now we are going to fill the Kool-log with water, and we will check back on our orchid to make sure that the sphagnum moss is remaining consistently moist. It's the next day, and here is our freshly mounted Coryanthes. You can see that the connection between the sphagnum moss and the Kool-log is a success because the sphagnum moss is moist looking, and if we touch it, it is definitely moist. So a successful mount for this Coryanthes. Now the only thing to do is make sure that it stays moist by filling the top of the Kool-log with water. You can see I filled it this morning, and already about a quarter of the water has been diffused through the pores of the Kool-log. So you just need to stay on top of watering, especially if it is really, really hot like it is here. And I'm so excited to show you guys the progress of this orchid in a few months. So stay tuned for updates, and if you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one in the future, and I will see you guys later.